At Direct Service Overhead, we know how much trust you put in the individuals who have the privilege of working on the components of your home. We understand that a broken garage door is the last thing you want to be worried about, and most of the time, doors break at the most inconvenient times. Our professionally trained technicians service 24 hours a day, and our high-cycle parts are guaranteed to make a noticeable impact on your garage door without putting a damper on your wallet. If you're looking for need of assistance maintaining your current garage door, our team has the experience and expertise to deliver the results you deserve. Give Direct Service Overhead a call today or visit us online to learn more.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans, SEC fans everywhere? Welcome to the one and only Pig Trail Network YouTube channel. I hope you guys have had. I hope you've had a great week. That's what I hope. I hope you've had a great week. My week hasn't been too terribly bad. I'm ready for this game. I'm telling you. I'm probably as excited for this game on Saturday as I've ever been for any game. Like I said, it's time for that losing streak to the Aggies to come to an end, and we're inching our way towards more of the breakdown against them on Saturday, but we'll do the breakdown on Friday. Joe with the $5 super chat right out the gate, man. That's a first. I've never had someone lead in to a live stream with a $5 super chat. The Aggies will lose, in all caps. He says they can't stop the run and have feasted on bad teams. That's a pretty good point. Who's their best win all year? Colorado. What happened to Colorado this last weekend? They got blanked. And not by a ranked opponent either. So, yeah, that's a good point, Joe. That's a real good point. Smash the like button with the Junkyard Dog Thump. Oh, there you go. I was getting more recommendations, and I'm loving it. And that was kind of my hope, was that we would find a way to slowly incorporate wrestling power moves, all the special moves on how to handle the like button. And remember, it's also just make sure you hit the like button. But someone said do the. I gotta scroll up here. Do the Macho Man Randy Savage flying elbow off the top ropes on the like button. There were several. Doug Stubbs says to do the Jerry Lawler pull down the strap, Big 8 hand to the mouth to the like button. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Appreciate all the comments. What I'm going to ask you guys to do in the comment section today, we're going to do scores on Friday, right? I get predictions all the time. I love that, but save those for Friday because that's what I'm going to ask. And I want to see those scores on Friday. But I do appreciate those of you who are dropping them already. I mean, hey, you guys you're finding a way to be a part of the show one way or another. So that's kind of the goal here. I like to incorporate the audience. That's why I read chat. Not everyone does that. Not everyone kind of, incorporates you guys. I want you guys to feel like in a way you're a part of the show. You're a part of what's going on here. Even those of you who comment after, I sometimes try to remember, like, I need to go back and read those on live stream sometimes. And the problem is you get out of context. Well, for me, they're out of context because I don't know what you're replying to. So I can't bring them up in a later stream and be like, well, Kate said this. And I'm like, wait, what was she talking about? So if you're talking about a specific point, it's always helpful to use a timestamp. And that way I can go back and watch it, and then we'll address it here. I get those out of context. Again, to me, they're out of context. They're not out of context to you because some of you are going back and you're watching the show after the fact, right after it's already been live. And then you write, well, Ty, I disagree. And I'm like, with what? Sometimes I get what you're talking about. You'll leave it in there. Okay. I'm wearing the Luck shirt today. I'm not gonna lie, I've been dealing with some rough stomach issues. I think we've got a bug going around the house. It's not COVID, but ironically, my daughter's 4th grade class is having to quarantine, but she doesn't have COVID. None of us have COVID, but we thought we were having signs early in the week, and it was like, oh no, how am I gonna do the show with COVID? Then again, some people handle it just fine. But I'm a big baby when I get sick, so I don't know. Lot to talk about. We have huge recruiting news that's may not be breaking news to everybody, but it's we're going to get into that in just a second. There's quite a bit here. I always worry about Wednesday shows because there's always at least 2 really good things to focus on that makes up for really good content that I know you guys want to hear about. And then sometimes that's like it. Then I'm really scrounging to look for, I can't write out. What I used to do is I used to write out scripts for shows or bullet point scripts. And this show, I was able to kind of fill it out a little bit. We also have the 2022 schedule. I know some of you guys have seen that. We have prospects. They're going to be at the game this weekend. We're going to talk about that. We've got Tuesday practice updates and injury updates just from stuff that I've found from around the web and just kind of what I'm hearing. And we're going to talk a little bit about the depth chart. So yeah, we should, as always, we should turn this into hopefully we get close to an hour on all these shows. I'm going to tell you guys too, we're about to get to the sponsors here in just a second, but not all of these shows will be an hour. The plan is to make them an hour. Sometimes they might be a little less. Typically what we've seen is they're going over. And I've had people say, well, for more ad space, maybe you should stretch it out to an hour and a half. And I'm going to tell you, that would not be consistent because it is hard, especially when you come out of when you're coming out of like basketball season. We're gonna have to cross some bridges, eventually. When we'll cross those bridges, right? We'll cross those when we get to them. But it's kind of hard sometimes to fill these shows out. This show, that's not the case. So we should have plenty of content here. So of course, a lot of this would not be possible without the sponsors. Direct service overhead. If you need some work done on your garage door, you need it replaced, give these guys a shout, give them a call. I have their information down below in the description box. You just open it up, click the link, it takes you right to their website. They operate out of Central Arkansas and Northwest Arkansas, they do good work. So be sure and check them out. Again, link provided for you. If you guys are in our Discord, I got to remember to share the Discord earlier in the show. That's what I got to do. Here we go. I'm going to give you guys, I'm going to give you the Discord link. It has been doing really well. We're adding people. It feels like every day we're adding people, which is really cool. That's something else something I wanted to do a long time ago. And we did it, and and I really wanted to. That was another way of keeping in contact with everyone who supports the show, right? A&M is overrated and run defense is god-awful, says Asa Valentine. What up, Ty? This game feels like the program on the map kind of game. Okay, legit SEC caliber team, 24-7. Stop the WWE references getting played out? No, I'm going to keep doing them, Michael. Now, because you told me, look, that's the Norm Macdonald in me right there. Now you told me not to do them. I'm going to do them every single day. You don't tell me to stop doing something because I'm just going to keep doing it. It's like twisting the knife in your wound. Now I'm just going to do it all the time, Michael. Don't tell me not to do something on my own damn show, sir. Time my teacher won't let me airplay to board. I don't know what that means. What is airplay? Oh, isn't that where you could play what's on your phone on the TV? Isn't that what that is? I've never done that. I have a smart TV. Got a big old smart TV in the living room, and I've never thought to do that. I guess there's not really much of a point. Double all the WWE references. It's happening now, John. You don't tell me not to do something because I'm going to do it now. I'm going to do it even more. I mean, you guys, and again, I talk a little bit about Norm Macdonald. Obviously, he just passed away. He's one of my SNL idols. And that's a reputation that he had. He had that reputation. Go watch him when he was on The View. Go watch Norm Macdonald on The View. It is, I vaguely remember when that happened. I think I was in high school, but I remember teachers talking about it. And I had a teacher that loved Norm Macdonald and kind of put me on the path to like understanding comedy a little bit. And he was my biology teacher in 10th grade, Mr. Johnson at West Campus High School in Fayetteville. But he would talk a lot about Norm Macdonald and SNL. And what was it, him or was it Elmore? I had two teachers that really enjoyed, and they would play like clean comedy in class every once in a while. But Norm Macdonald had that reputation. You told him to do something or not to do something, he did it even more. So now you brought it on, man. Vader bomb the like button. There you go. Hogs take it to those no girls allowed in cheerleading Aggies. I love it. Or the Gaggies. I like how you put that. I like how you put it. Also, moving on to our next sponsor really quick, Stated Apparel. Sell the softest shirts. He's sending me some. Shirts. I can't wait to wear them on stream. I reached out today about they're swamped. I know they are, but I reached out about the discount. But if you go to their website, to Stated Apparel, I've got, again, their link is provided for you, and you use Ty Rocks, you get 10%. Now, that may have been the case Texas week. I don't know if it still is. If you guys try it and it doesn't work, then you'll know, right? If you try to use it and it just doesn't. But it did for a little while. But they sell the softest shirts, all of them made right here locally in the state of Arkansas. They sell other brands as well, like Native and Southern Marsh, both those clothing brands. Again, all those links for both those sponsors are provided for you down below in the description box. Fat guy in a little coat. Oh, okay. Michael, you're just like, I don't know. I get what you're doing there. Who doesn't like Chris Farley? Good morning, my brother. What's up? Danyel Hadley. How you doing, my man? How's it going? Kaylin Hitchens has met Norm before. Such a cool guy. Met you and Norm. What a life. Oh, that's cool. You've met me? You'll have to remind me. I had a really weird, the strangest place I had someone, I won't say strange, but I was taking my girls to the bathroom at Walmart. You know, the very back where the TV aisles are, and or the TV where they put the TVs on the wall. There's a restroom back there in the very back. I know some people don't know this because of the bathroom up front, and so we go. My kids didn't know this. They were like, "Oh, what is this? They got a bathroom in the back of the store." So they're using the family. I think they were in the family restroom, but I was outside waiting. I had a girl walk out of the women's restroom. And she was like, "My boyfriend loves you. He watches all your content. He loves your show." And this is before I was doing this was like a year ago. That's the oddest place I've ever had anyone. Gas pumps, I've had two people see me at gas pumps. And I love it when people want to talk. Hey, man, I'm pretty approachable. First stream. Welcome, Sayo Trophy Hunter, man. I appreciate it. You guys do me a favor, too. Make sure, again, hit the likes. We've already talked about doing the German suplexes. Remember, you tell me not to do something, I'm just going to keep doing it. So do a German suplex on the like button and subscribe if you guys haven't already. And the biggest thing, share the content. Share the content. Yeah, that's big. When you guys share, it's huge. That means a lot. Chris Farley, my guy. Chris Farley is my all-time favorite SNL character. He's my all-time favorite SNL cast member, all-time, easily. Like Will Ferrell's up there, and to me, it's like how many quality skits, right? Like how many quality skits do they have? All right. Well, and just too, like not even how great their careers were, like in movies. It's just like what they accomplished on SNL, right? Like Mike Myers, he doesn't have a whole lot of great, powerful skits on SNL, but the ones that he have are freaking great. Who could? I mean, Wayne's World, like that. That is the 80s, you know? And, of course, they made movies. All right. Scrolling down here, we're going to get down to the Wednesday show. All right, the big recruiting news is 5-star guard Nick Smith is making his announcement on September 29th. I guess it starts at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Now, that's kind of old news. I think we actually found that out Monday. I think, was that Monday when they made that announcement? But he was given yet another future cast this morning on Rivals. That is now, I don't know how many future casts that is now, like all of them. He's got 2 crystal ball predictions on 247 to Arkansas. Both of them the confident, they do the confidence thing. It's at a 6. So, I mean, I guess that's better than 5, right? It means the odds are in your favor, or at least that's the way those particular analysts feel. Now, both those picks, I think, were on September 20th. On 247, you can go check that out. That's open to the public. You don't have to have a paid subscription to see that. Although that was sent to me in a screenshot. So I don't think you have to have a sub to see that, but or you don't have to sub to 247 to see the crystal ball predictions. So yeah, that was out. That's cool. That's huge. Nick Smith, 5-star guard, big time in-state prospect. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling really good about him, and the Tide. Everything kind of switched the last 2 weeks. We just started hearing more and more about like he had a good visit. He was here on a visit. We know he had a good time, and since then, when was that? Was that the 10th? Was he here on the 10th? On Friday or on the 11th? Was he here? He was here he was here on the 11th. He was here for the Texas. Yeah. So it's been, a little more than a week plus since then. And we've kind of heard going into that game Arkansas had, or going into that week, going into the first weeks of September, like that was kind of the smoke, if you will. Like that was kind of the start of it. Like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe it's not Kentucky. And then, of course, you had some people switch their future cast from Kentucky to Arkansas. It's starting to look more and more likely. Again, he's going to announce on the 29th. I don't understand, and that'll be a week from today. I don't understand 7 and 9 p.m. I really hope they make this all about the kid. You watch some of these announcements or whatever that they stream on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, and it's like, it's all about it's about the church down the road. Or now I get giving them shout outs. I don't have a problem with that, but it seems like the focus leaves itself like it's not on the kid. And this is about this kid's accomplishments. There's nothing wrong with like, hey, shout out to Pastor so-and-so and having him come up and say a prayer and do his thing, and then leave the let the kid take over at that point. Or maybe have a high school coach come up and say, hey, this kid, this is what he does. He's a good kid on and off the field. He goes to class, does the best he can in class. He kills it on the field. I don't have a problem with that. But then when they make it, we've seen live streams where like for 45 minutes, it's about everything but the kid. And I get it too. It is cool for the community. And I'm not trying to take anything away from that too. Like that's not every day that sometimes some of these other areas, they don't get that kind of publicity and they don't get that kind of attention or whatever, but I think it ought to be on the kid. That's just me. You know, and sometimes you look at the families or you look over at mom and dad and they're like, okay, cool. All right, we've been doing this now for like 55 minutes. You know, let's get the announcement. Let's let him do his thing. So, but I feel pretty good about him coming to Arkansas at the moment. I mean, who doesn't, right? When you see all those crystal balls and future casts, you got to feel good. Now, who knows? We are talking about, you know, again, like I always say, we're talking about 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. Anything can happen between now and then. We got a $5 super chat. Mr. T, 70 watching and only 25 likes. Come on, man. Come on, and Iron Claw. Whose is that? The Iron Claw. I'm not. I swear, I am a vanilla. I'm an amateur when it comes to wrestling. Like, I only came in when I remember Hulk Hogan when I was a kid. You know, who doesn't? You know, the Hulk and Andre the Giant. Come on and Iron Claw, the like button. Fire up the super chats, y'all. Hogs, end the streak. I think that's going to be the case. I hope so. 38-14 says Seo Trophy Hunter. Never go to the up front bathroom at a Walmart. You might see an old man taking a bath in the sink. True story. No. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong about that. You're not. Let's see. If we beat A&M, he will probably go us. Oh, I don't think that's going to have anything to do with it. I think he's made his mind up. I really do. Sup, Ty? What's up, Captain Mike? How you doing? I think Arkansas has best odds given who both teams have played, and A&M has played worse. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get a notification. I'm here now. What have I missed? Me talking about wrestling moves and a little bit about Nick Smith. All right. Also, Warren Thompson, wide receiver, transfer out of Florida State, got his scholarship. It will count towards the 2022 class. He's caught 4 passes for 81 yards and a touchdown. That solo touchdown came off a 60-yard strike from KJ Jefferson. So congratulations to Warren Thompson. That's always cool. You knew he was going to get it. You knew he was. When you hear about a 6'3", 6'4", when his size, his frame, you watch his high school film, you saw how highly recruited he was. Like, come on, man. Any point, any time now, he's going to get that Scully. All he's got to do is have at least somewhat of an impact on the field, just a little bit, and he'll get that Scully. And he did. He got it. So congrats to him. I'm really looking forward to what this guy can do. You watch that route that he ran, that 60-yard bomb from KJ. I mean, he beat that guy pretty good. He beat that DB right off the first step. I mean, he's a big physical wideout with, I don't know, I know out of high school they talked about him having a little bit of that speed. I always kind of thought he was more of a faster possession wideout. Most of your possession wideouts are not real fast. They're 4.6 NFL combine guys. They drop those 4.6. 4.65 combines, but they make really solid possession wideouts because of their size and frame. I don't actually know his 40. I swear I looked it up when he transferred here, and I don't remember it. Of course, I don't have it pulled up. But regardless, he's already had a little bit of an impact. 4 passes caught for 81 yards and a tutty. He got the 6er. So good for Warren Thompson. That's awesome. Awesome to see that he got his scholarship. Again, we knew it was coming. We knew it. His talent level is just too good. Look at the super chat. Going on a Wednesday, man. That's awesome. Ty, glad to see you're doing well. Outside of my stomach, man. Outside of the stomach issues I'm having today. I got Hawks 28-17. Not that you guys wanted to know about that. Also glad Treylon Burks had a great game this past Saturday. The concerns I had with him in the first 2 games. Yeah, and I think they're warranted when when you look at how big of an impact he had in 2020 during a COVID year. It felt like the entire offense hinged on his production. It felt, and I'm not saying he's Darren McFadden. He is a freak of nature. I've said that multiple times. He's definitely an FON. But it felt like at times last year to the offense, like Darren McFadden was, in when he was here. You know, like they developed like the Wildcat and everything was all about. It was all about getting Darren McFadden, finding a way to get him the ball one way or another, and it kind of felt like at times that was Burks' role. Thanks for the super chat, Carson. I agree. Hopefully he continues to build off that performance. Who did the who better, Sting or Flair? Flair, without a doubt, Flair. Stinger splashed the line. Y'all are gonna trigger my man in chat now. You're gonna trigger him. Ty, you lost your wrestling credentials. WCCW, the Von Erichs Iron Claw. Okay. See, like I said, I'm a novice, man. When it comes to, I only came in when Hollywood Hulk Hogan went to the NWO. That's when I got like, wait, what? He was a good guy. Now we figured out that term. It's called turning heel. I want to watch that show, by the way. I don't know if any of you are watching the show Heel. It's about this wrestling family, I guess. I want to watch it. I'll tell you some other content I've been consuming a lot of. I've been consuming a lot of behind-the-scenes wrestling YouTube videos. Eric Bischoff has this one. He's on this podcast. I forgot the name of the guy that does it with him. I think it's called 82 Weeks. It's based off when the WCW was the number one, wrestling channel or show, whatever, when they were competing with the WWF back in the day, back when they were the WWF, Vince McMahon and what he had going on. But Bischoff, it's so funny to listen to these guys talk and how much hatred. I mean, it's fake. And I hope there's not some 13-year-old kid watching this whose head just exploded. I apologize. But it's fake. We know that. But it's so, I don't know, man. Understanding the business and everything behind the scenes is so fascinating to me. It's just, I don't know. I consume that kind of content. People ask like, hey, who's your favorite other YouTuber or whatever? I had someone ask me that a long time ago. And I said, honestly, it's a lot of political jargon. I watch a lot of political content. And now I would say wrestling, along with I watch a lot of comedy sketches. I watch a lot of, old like SNL skits and stuff. I never knew how dirty Flair was. Just heard about him and the others on the plane fighting. Yeah, and Flair cornering the flight attendant. Yeah, gets crazy, man. I'm telling you, it's fascinating. Dragon of the Mist. Everything we watch, save some combat sports, is quote-unquote fake. Movies, TV, all of it. I don't watch wrestling anymore, but it was golden. Man, I'm telling you, the Attitude Era was phenomenal. And, of course, who didn't watch, Triple H, Stone Cold, The Rock back in the day? I mean, it was just great. Woo Pig Suey forever from Jacksonville, Florida. I believe KJ legs will be the difference maker for this game. Hogs win because of KJ's legs, says Daryl Smith. Fake, yes, but those guys are real top. They are. They're athletes. Ask. Did you guys see? Who was it that went on Bill Maher when he had his show years ago? Who was the wrestler who was pointing out all of his injuries? Does this look fake to you? Exactly. And they are world-class athletes. Some of them people forget Chris Rock was a defensive end for Miami. A lot of those guys were. Ty, wrestling is fake? No. Boy, y'all, I think we're triggering Michael. He's done with the wrestling talk. Flair chopped the like button. Whoo! I'm telling you, that's some good content too when he's talking about his jewelry and he's going on and he's talking with Mean Gene and he's going on. Oh man, I'm telling you, it's quality content, you guys. Also, as you can tell, we're also trying to stretch out this hour. Coming up on 31 minutes. How about Ty freaking Swiss Army knife of an offensive lineman, Clary? Played 3 different positions on the field last week. The only other 2 offensive linemen in the history of Arkansas football, apparently, to do this were Frank Ragnow and Sebastian Tritola. Last week, he played offensive tackle for a downed Dalton Wagner, and then he ended up playing center for Ricky Stromberg as well, obviously moving over from the right guard spot where he had rotated in from. How about that, man? Clary is a Swiss Army knife of an offensive lineman. This is why having a versatile offensive lineman like that, he may not dominate at any one of those positions, although I think he's a pretty solid run blocker at times. And he does a pretty good job manning up. In fact, on that Warren Thompson throw, I think Sam Pittman gave him credit for having a great block on that play, and without his effort on that play, that bomb to Thompson doesn't happen. So yeah, Ty Clary, the man. You go, Ty Clary. That's awesome. It's good for him. That's gonna be big. I mean, you got to keep him healthy. I think after he goes down, we're gonna if he goes down. Sorry, I should knock on wood. If he goes down and you don't have Stromberg, you don't have Dalton Wagner, there might be some real questions for what's going on the offensive line. I don't know what's up with Tykees Crawford. I really thought Crawford would come in and play last week for when Dalton Wagner went down, and he didn't. Did I say Chris Rock? What did I mean? Not Chris Rock. The Rock. The wrestler on Bill Maher was Roddy Piper. That's right. Yep. I'm Ric Flair, the styling, profiling, limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, son of a gun. Woo! Oh, you gotta love it. How effective do you think our run game will be this week? I think it's going to be. We know they're going to lean on it. A&M secondary is pretty good. I really think, despite the fact that A&M's, I mean, they started off rough against the run, and it's like they've slowly kind of gotten a little bit better week to week on the run. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to watch how they react, how their front seven reacts to KJ, Treylon, Raheem, AJ, assuming AJ gets a whole lot of attention in this game or any at all. In these kind of games, the only way you see some of those guys playing is if maybe, I mean, he'll be in. He'll get some playing time. AJ will get some playing time. Dominic Johnson has definitely earned. That's the problem. It's like you've got four more than capable backs, and we haven't even seen TJ Hammonds get the ball out of the backfield. We forget TJ is it's like when he has the ball in his hands, he can make things happen. You know, he's a big play. It seems like when every third or fourth carry would be good for 20 or 30 yards. Like that's what his career has been at Arkansas. The problem is he never got enough attention here. And again, he starts off a little slow and then all of a sudden he takes off for 30 or 40 yards. He's got big play written all over him and he's not even seen the field. He's been on special teams. That's where we've seen him, is on special teams this week. He's done a pretty good job in that area. It seems like he's always one of the first ones down the field. But it's fascinating to see how we went into fall camp. We knew Raheem Sanders was like, we felt like he was going to be legit, but we weren't 100% sure yet. My biggest criticism coming out of spring camp was he didn't have that same burst since the weight gain. And then we find out in the first week of fall camp, Sam Pittman says, he was dealing with an ankle injury. Oh. And then we've seen Dominic Johnson, a guy who moved to tight end towards the end of fall camp. Towards the end of fall camp, they moved the guy to tight end. He comes back for prep week or for install week for Rice, and he's scored in every game this year. I think he has a touchdown in every – I think that's what I saw. He's got a touchdown in every game, and he's got big play written all over him as well. And then A.J. Green, of course, has had a couple of good moments. So it's like, can they handle KJ? Hell, can they handle the running backs, the plethora of running backs that Arkansas has that can line up out of the backfield and do you some harm one way or another? And then you got to deal with Treylon Burks. You know, when they send him in motion and all of a sudden he's next to KJ and he's kind of moving around like, oh boy, this is when a defense starts scratching their head and they're not really sure what to expect out of what the veer and shoot's about to do to you. And you've seen that now take effect in the second half of Rice. The whole game against Texas, I felt like was a really well called game. The best, most complete called game by Kendall Browse. And then outside of one quarter against Georgia Southern, you felt like this offense they have so many different options out of the backfield. They have so many different ways they can hurt you, and they still haven't needed to throw the ball outside of maybe the first half against Rice. Right? Like that half, you felt like, okay, we got to start throwing it. We got to start doing something. They're clogging the gaps. Arkansas's offensive line not getting a lot of push here. And then obviously in the second half, it felt like they opened things up a little more, and the rest is history. Took care of business, outscored them by quite a bit in the second half. They completely shut Rice down. I think they scored once in the third quarter. But and then you go to Texas and so on and so forth. There's so many different ways Arkansas can beat you, and it's like, what are they going to do this week? What we've seen throughout all weeks is, they're going to run the ball. They're a power run offense, but they stretched it out last week, and they had 330-plus yards through the air. So, $10 super chat. Look at that. You go, Mr. T-Dub. This may be the cheeriest take ever. I don't think this game comes down to X's and O's. I think it will come down to mindset, who wants it more. The quote-unquote, the fighting the dog cliche is fitting for this game. I think that's a very good point. When you have teams that are this physical and they do what they do and they do it somewhat well, I think Arkansas, in my opinion, Arkansas is better on offense than A&M is, even before Calzada. Like, I think Arkansas is a better team on offense. Defense, I'm going to probably give that to A&M, but who the hell have they played? Who have they played? Not saying this isn't, again, and I said this on Mark Rogers' show yesterday. We did our taping or our recording yesterday. And I said it there. You could throw everything I'm about to tell you, even my prediction, throw everything out the window when Arkansas and A&M play. When they put the pads on, they've got the helmet on. It's all, everything else is out. It doesn't matter. There have been years where A&M wasn't the better team and they still found a way to win. There were years where I think Arkansas going into the game was the better team. This game could set the tempo. Maybe that's been the difference for the last 9 years. Maybe this has something to do with the inconsistencies throughout the season because they didn't start off the right way. Not that they start off all the time with A&M, but that early in the season. This is a game that, I heard Bumper Pool say they don't think about the losing streak. My ass. I'm sorry, man. My ass, they're not talking about the losing streak, okay? Sam Pittman drilled it into their heads about the rivalry between them and Texas. Drilled it into their heads about the rivalry and all this stuff and the competitiveness between these two games. If you're going to tell me he's not telling them to some degree, and if it's not coming from Sam, it's coming from an assistant, it's coming from a teammate, they're talking about it. I'm not saying that only Sam can say this stuff. No, they're talking about it in that locker room. You know they are. Anyone who's played competitive sports at any level, and this is happening, you've got this embarrassing losing streak. To me, it's embarrassing. You don't lose to a team unless it's Alabama, because everyone understands that. You don't lose to a team, and I get A&M has been better since they joined the SEC. They are a better program since leaving the Big 12 for the SEC back in 2012. But before that, Arkansas had won this game 3 years in a row, and now it's been nothing but A&M. You can't tell me these kids aren't talking about it to some degree. They absolutely are. I know they are. Bumper says they're not. I don't know, man. I mean, of course, he's going to know better. But I feel like, they don't let it all out. They don't say everything to the media because they don't, it's all about perception. And they know that. They're aware of that. But I think I think they're talking about it, especially those seniors and the super seniors, the guys. You've got 22 seniors on this team, 11 super seniors, and you're telling me they're not like, all right, I've had enough of this bullshit. It's time to put this to an end. Come on, man. We all know they are. Honestly believe this game is ripe for us to air it out more, run for sure, but A&M is going to dare us to win in the air. Yeah. They're going to sell out for the run or sell out for the pass. I agree. Or they're going to sell out for the run. They're going to stop the run. They want to contain the run. They want to contain these backs. And it's not to say they can't do it because I think they can, but it's going to be tough. And I think the question for A&M is, can they outlast Arkansas in the line of scrimmage? Because that's what Arkansas's done every week. They just wear teams down. Every game they play, they just wear teams down. And I didn't think they could do it against Texas. I really didn't. I picked them to beat Texas. I just didn't think they'd wear them down. I figured it would be a whoever had the ball last kind of game. Like it was going to come down to 3 or 4 points. But I think you're right. Dragon of the Mist. This winter in a theater near you. Dragons of the Mist. A Marvel cinematic movie. Jimbo will try to stop our run for sure. They're going to try and contain it. I don't know that it's kind of like, it's like when Houston Nutt in his better years, even outside of Darren McFadden, it was like that's how you contained a Houston Nutt offense, right? It was to contain the run game, contain Hillis, contain Felix Jones, Darren McFadden, go further back, Cedric Cobbs, contain these guys. And then his offenses weren't as complex as what Kendall Briles does. Or I would argue even when Gus was here and the Wildcat was installed, and it's like they're gonna find ways. They're a lot more intuitive. They're a lot more complex. And then you have all of these different backs that can cut you up in all these different kinds of ways. Oh, and by the way, your quarterback is 6'3", 245 pounds. And he bulldozes people. He's not afraid to just run you over. First super chat. The Gaggies defense challenges our offense a bit, but our defense stays salty. Hogs will play their hearts out Saturday. Hogs win 24-17. I love that score. JC Ivers. Thanks, man. Appreciate the super chat. I appreciate all super chat. You guys are awesome. I'm late and behind in the chat, but that like button. Let's see. But put that like button in the camel clutch. Oh, yes. I love it. I love it. Get the likes up, sir. I agree. Thank you. I think we start out hot, get a 14-0 lead, and seal the deal with a pick six. Says Brooks. Brooks Jones. Frederick Clemens. After the Aggies play us on Saturday, they more than likely won't be the number one defense anymore. Well said. They haven't played anybody like Arkansas. They haven't played anyone like Arkansas yet this year. And there's not very many, the way Arkansas does things, there's not very many Arkansas in the conference this year. I'm not saying, again, I'm sticking with my 8-4. I'm not saying they're going to go 10-2, 11-1, 12-0. But the way Arkansas does things, the way they operate on offense with the veer and shoot, the way Kendall Briles calls the offense, not that it's always great, it's a power run offense that's just sexy. It's just a sexy power run offense. That's what it is. It's not line up out of, like the Brett Bielema days. What is it, 9 yards or 10 yards in a cloud of dust? It's not run things out of the offset eye or I formation. It's not going 2 tight end sets. It's not that. It's just a sexier way of getting to wearing down defenses and utilizing the everything that you have up front. And the best thing that's happened is the weight gain with this offensive line. They've proven that they could still move really well with the weight gain. Arkansas's 2022 schedule announced. I don't know if you guys saw this. Oh my gosh. Ugh. I'll just say this: if you wanted some easy wins next year, you've got maybe one, maybe two. I mean, really, looking at this, this is insane. September 3rd, you take on, the current ranked Cincinnati. You take them on. South Carolina, that's in Fayetteville. South Carolina has not exactly been great. How about September 17th against Missouri State? Who's coaching them? And he's going to be prepped for this game. Hell, he's probably going to have all offseason. Now he doesn't have – I don't think he has the anger. Jeff Long's not here. You remember all that drama that unfolded after Jeff Long. But after Jeff Long fired him. And I don't know if you guys remember that, but his son was seen storming out of the athletic department, really mad. And, of course, Petrino was just – we all remember him getting fired, but all the things that kind of led up to it, the little things here and there. This is a big game for Bobby Petrino. This is a huge game for Bobby Petrino. So that's on September 17th. I mean, sure, yeah, of course I'm going to pick Arkansas to beat them. But Texas A&M on the 24th. Now, that contract with them playing in Arlington ends, I think it's 2024. But the home games next year are really awesome. They really are. Cincinnati, South Carolina, Missouri State with Bobby Petrino. Again, that's just, people are going to show up for that. Especially if Arkansas's ranked at that point in time, which they should be. Is Cincinnati overrated a little bit? I mean, really? Are they? I don't know. Alabama on October 1st. You're on the road against Mississippi State. Then you get a bye week. I love those like right smack dab middle in the season kind of bye weeks. Somewhere between like week 7 and week 9, whatever. But so let's see, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, week 7. So yeah, right there. And then you're on the road and you're in Utah, taking on BYU. Yeah, BYU at Auburn the following week. Then you've got Liberty the following week at home. Hugh Free, assuming he's still there. I hope that he is. I love that. I love that they have this coach that's winning over there and doing all this stuff. And then LSU on November 12th. Ole Miss on the 19th, and you end the season on the road at Missouri. So at first glance, this is what I was going to ask you guys to do earlier in chat, and but I forgot I moved down the schedule talk a little ways on my notes here. At first glance, I know it's too early. It's too early to say. A lot of variables, a lot of things that could happen between now and then. But how many wins? When you see that schedule, honestly, right now, how many wins do you think they get next year? I want to know what you guys think. Like at first glance, when you're looking down that schedule and you're going, okay, they got that one, they'll win that, they'll lose that. What do you got? Again, South Carolina, Missouri State, A&M, Alabama, at Mississippi. The cool thing is, your first true road game isn't until October 8th. That's kind of cool. I mean, yeah, you got Arlington. Okay, I get it. And technically, I think that is an away game, quote unquote, because you're the away team next year. But you know what I mean? It's not like A&M shouldn't have overwhelmingly an advantage, home field advantage. But then on the road against Mississippi State on the 8th, bye week, then at BYU, at Auburn. You're hosting Liberty. LSU, Ole Miss, at Mizzou. 8-9. Some of you were like, I'm not phased at all. I hear Bobby is riding in on a motorcycle. Honestly, that would be the coolest thing ever if he did. It would. It'd be like, you know what? I own it. I'm all for it. Do it, Bobby. Ride in on a motorcycle. Oh, man. Actually, that probably wouldn't be good for his marriage. Don't do that, Bobby Petrino. Lee Dunavant says A&M offensive line doesn't look good this year. They don't. They had to replace 4 out of their 5 starting offensive linemen. If our defense pounds their offense and KJ has a good day, we will win. I'm calling 5+ sacks for Arkansas to make this 5+ sacks. Now, when was the last time they had 5 sacks in a game? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just asking. 11-1 says dude BDR. 9 wins says Jay. 8 says Lee. 8-9 says Timber. Eagle Gaming says minimum of 8. All right. Again, a lot can happen. I get it. So for those of you who are watching after the fact, I want to know too from you guys what you think. What are we in on? 50 minutes? Oh, look at that. We made it to 50 minutes, and we've still got plenty to talk about here. Prospects at the game this weekend. Again, this is technically unofficial visits, or they're there. You're allowed to get tickets to recruits. That's the way this works. It's so stupid. Why not let them just host them on the sidelines? I don't understand this. Malik Muhammad, who I had heard was going to make it, and it looks like he's going to be there. He's a 2023 4-star out of Dallas, going down the 23 list. You've got Caleb James. A lot of people think he might be there to help recruit for some other schools. I don't know. He's a 4-star defensive lineman. Jonte Cook, 4-star wideout out of Texas. Anthony James, Braxton Myers are all going to be there. The 2024 class, you've got Peyton Pierce, Kadavion Dotson, and Zadavian Sims. Those are all 4-stars. And I think they may even add a couple more. I'm not 100% sure. But you're able to hand out tickets for this game. That's all you can do. You cannot have any contact with them. It's so stupid how this works. Cannot. And this is one of the reasons why I want to pull out of this game. I want out of this game. You're already at a pretty big recruiting disadvantage to the rest of the SEC. Why do you continue to play games where you can't even host recruits? And no one, I always hear, well, it's a big game down in Jerry World. Okay, cool. He can come to Fayetteville. I mean, that's awesome. And it's a great experience. I loved this game for the first several years. I loved it. Now it's like, I'm over it. We're already at a big recruiting disadvantage. You already played down, you were playing down at Little Rock for a while for more than one game. Why would you not want every advantage possible? And I get it, like away years you can't host. We're no kidding, right? You can't have recruits. You can't take recruits with you down there. That's not allowed. They're there and they're there being hosted by that school. I understand that. But that means every other year you're going to have one or two locations where you can't recruit to. You can't have official visits. There's a difference between official and unofficial, right? I know most of you know this. Some of you don't. Unofficial is basically they're there under their own free will, and they bought tickets or they got access to tickets, or in this case, the university was allowed to hand them tickets. But here's the problem. Now, because it's unofficial, you can't have any contact, despite even being the home team in this game. You can't have any contact with any of these players. None. You will get hit with violations. And the same thing down in Little Rock. You cannot have, and I'm sorry, it's like I know it's not a popular subject for some of you because you're diehard Little Rock people, and that's fine. I've said before, the most diehard fans in the state of Arkansas are located in Central and South, down in the Delta, over in the Northeast, in Jonesboro and Piggott and places like that. Most diehard fans in the state. But I want every advantage humanly possible when it comes to recruiting. And you've got two black eyes when it comes to being able to recruit effectively, right? Little Rock is, I think we'll be out of there by 2030. I do. I think it's going to be done before then. Contract runs out soon, doesn't it? I think Hornsby will be throwing in the UAPB game. I believe Ridgeway has a great game this Saturday. I'd like to see Hornsby. Well, a lot of you want Hornsby. I hope so too. Nice DB pickup from a kid. Put out Little Rock Parkview. Hog staff better keep an eye on running back Montario Elston. Little Rock Parkview. Kid runs a 4.5 in ninth grade. SEC talent. That is moving for a ninth grader. Holy cow. I'm from Jonesboro. Honestly, though, Jonesboro ain't all that great itself. No, I've never been to Jonesboro. Never have. I've been near it, never been to it. Been all over the state. I've never been to Jonesboro. I want to go. I have family over there. Sup, Ty? Awesome show as always. I hate to be this guy, but someone has to ask. Does A&M trick KJ into a couple INTs? I mean, it's absolutely possible, right? I mean, it's sure. I mean, he's thrown how many picks? 2 picks this year. Is that right? It's 2. You go back to the Mizzou game, he didn't throw 1 and played a pretty good game. So he's not a turnover hound, right? Doesn't turn the ball over a whole bunch. Stay south of Johnson Avenue. Guys, did y'all watch the spring game? Hornsby is not a good passer right now. He can develop, but we would be crazy to put him in, says Turner Shepard. I mean, that is the part of his game that needs to be developed. When you talk about what his skill set is right now, I mean, you're going to use him to run. There's no doubt. When he's on the field, he's not going to be throwing a whole lot of balls. Only been arrested 1 time, and it was in Jonesboro. Not a great play. We got an outlaw in chat. I think Hogs get two picks because Jimbo will test our untested secondary. I'm telling you. Secondary, it's brutal. All right, Tuesday practice injury and updates. I didn't think we would be at the end of the show talking about this, but it's been a good show. I like it when we've got time left and we've got still a lot to talk about. I mean, well, we've got a couple things. The Razorbacks starting center, Ricky Stromberg and Dalton Wagner, were both seen at practice. I know there were a lot of questions about those two. They were seen at practice, but neither one were participating. They're both wearing their jerseys without pads, walking around. Stromberg had a sleeve on his left leg along with a brace over the left knee. Safety Jalen Catalon and running back Traylon Smith were in green jerseys, which are their no contact jerseys. Both were participating fully for practice. I thought that would be the case. And then Treylon Burks all week has been full go. He's been full go this week. He was in full pads, participating in drills. He did not have a green jersey on. So there's your update for the week on those guys. Gonna be some questions about the offensive line. Again, we're gonna talk more about that on Friday. Am I a little bit nervous if you don't have those two? I don't think it's the end of the world. I mean, you still got Ty Clary. You still have Tykees Crawford to utilize. I don't know what the deal was with Crawford not coming in last week when Wagner went down. I don't know I don't know if I missed some information on him being hurt or I don't know, but or maybe they just haven't. He's been on the 2 deep. Like, he worked his way up. He was put in going into the fall camp as the three guy at the right tackle spot. And by the end of the second week of camp, he was the number 2 guy. He was working with the 2s. So I mean, I don't know what the deal was with that. I don't know what's going on with Crawford. I don't know why he wasn't out there. Okay. If you go north of Johnson Avenue, you're very likely to get mugged. It's like South Fayetteville. For those of you who come into town, South Fayetteville is it's better than what it used to be, but I would try to avoid, like, if you're on 71 heading towards Greenland, or you're heading towards, maybe you're lost, you're trying to get to the 49 to the interstate, just don't go past that, right? When you start seeing a big blue, what used to be the Cooper Kearney building on the left, and then the Fayetteville Airport, like, you've gone too far. Now you're out of Fayetteville and you're in Greenland. But in that area, around kind of just a little bit past the airport and before the big blue building, there's a big blue. My dad used to work there. Worked at Kearney Cooper for like 30 years. But around that area, you get past there. It's actually where Thunder Valley, if you guys know about Thunder Valley, little dirt track that used to be open, I used to love that. Thunder Valley was awesome back in the day. Ty, how much eligibility does Ridgeway have? I think he's only got the 1 year, Mr. T-Dub. I'm pretty sure. He's only got the 1 year. I thought he had 2, but I'm pretty sure he's just got the 1. Hornsby looks good in practice. It's not the same as a game, but his passes look sharp, says Shooter Race Gaming. All right, 59 minutes. Look at that. Man, I'm from Southwest Little Rock. I'm not scared of anywhere. Isn't that the truth? I knew a guy that lived in East St. Louis. That dude was not afraid of anything. Yeah, you don't want to get lost down there in Little Rock. And again, South Fayetteville. There's parts of South Fayetteville, like Cato Springs. These are places I used to ride my bike when I was like 10 or 12. Don't tell my Arky 56 isn't in chat. He should be at work right now. So what happened to Trey Knox? He looked promising for a stretch there. Well, they moved him to tight end, or he's been working with tight ends, and we don't really know. I don't know if he's not technically on the 3 deep. In fact, well, I've only got the 2 deep here. We have the depth chart for Monday, and there's no significant changes. I was trying to look here. Luke Jones is going to back up Brady Latham at left guard. This is according to Mondays. Ty Clary is right now starting at right guard. Bo Limmer behind him. Tykees Crawford is on the 2 deep, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's up with Knox, if he's going to see much of the field or not, because they have Blake Kern, who's on the cover, by the way, of this thumbnail for this show. Blake Kern and Hudson Henry as your 2 tight ends, and I mean, that's to be expected, right? I mean, Knox. If Knox is your number 2 tight end, you've got some big concerns. On defense, I thought I saw something that I was skimming down, and I thought I saw something that was interesting. Slusher's back in rotation. Slusher's back in the 2 deep, and that was, I think he actually returned last week. Greg Brooks is, last I saw, he's listed as the number 1 punt returner. So we'll see if that sticks. Trey Knox will be gone next season. Sad, because I really like him, but needs to play somewhere. Yeah, I agree. I'm in Conway. Them roundabouts are dangerous. Listen, they're not popular, but roundabouts are better than stupid Springdale, where I live. There are too many unnecessary stoplights. Too many. So what do they start doing? They start putting roundabouts in over there, like towards over off Huntsville, like further down Huntsville, like you're heading towards Elm Springs. They're putting roundabouts. I'll take a roundabout over a stoplight any day of the week. These stupid, needless. There's too many stoplights in Springdale. Unnecessary stoplights. Roundabouts are key. John Stossel, I don't know if you know who he is. Most of you are old enough to know who John Stossel is. He does a video about roundabouts. Way better than stoplights. Way more efficient. I hate unnecessary stoplights. I hate them. There's so many down the road from my house. I can point out 3 that don't need to be there. I'm just saying. All right, Friday, we're going to get I'm not reading any more scores. Friday, get your scores. We'll break down Texas A&M. It's going to be a good one. I am so excited for A&M. Saturday, of course, we'll have the postgame show immediately following the game. I say immediately. Give me like five minutes. Someone said you're a really good bridge after the game and before Trey Biddy. Because Trey Biddy takes an hour or 2 hours to get his walk and talk. You're a great bridge between. Thank you. I'm glad I could be that for you. I'm glad I could be your bridge. The Stoss. I love Stoss, man. He's the man. The Conway used to be top 10 danger cities. Now Little Rock I think Little Rock's been there forever. Little Rock's been they were behind Oakland murders per capita or something like 8 years ago. It's crazy. All right. I will see you guys on the Friday show again, 11 o'clock. We're going to do our breakdown. I'm going to get your scores. I'll give you mine. I'll give you my prediction. I was on Mark Rogers' show. That show should be up. It might be up today. I don't know. He may already have it up. But that will be up on his main channel, or it could be up on his SEC channel. But I'll probably share that link in Discord or somewhere. One more time, I'll give you the Discord link really quick. Again, shout out to our sponsors. Their links are provided for you down below in the description box. There you go. There's the Discord. If you guys want to join the Discord, check out what we're doing there. I've got to update the SEC standings. I got to update those. I'm going to do that today. All right. Woo Pig. I'll see you guys on Friday. I would say to behave yourselves, but I know you're not going to. Woo Pig.